Soulblight Gravelords. It's now officially out and it's smelling saucy. The whole book is a win, and I figured this would be a great chance to do an army showcase of nearly 12,000 points of Soulblight Gravelords, completely painted, with a goal of 15,000 possibly by the end of the year. But if we're going to take a look at that, we're going to have to take a trip over to the big table. I first started collecting Soulblight Gravelords when they were Legion of Nagash over in AOS 2.0. I was really drawn to them because they were really easy to relay from both the war game and over to Dungeons and Dragons. At the time, that's primarily what I was playing, and I went with a friend of mine to the game store. He was really persistent in playing Warhammer. It was getting increasingly hard to find people to play D&D. So I gave it a go. I found a really cool skeleton box that had that awesome Archon the Black miniature. It had the 5 Black Knights and 10 Death Rattle. I never saw anything quite like it before, so I dove right in, and really I never looked back. I kept on finding that one more piece to add to the collection. And as I'm building this video and I'm putting everything together, I really thought, what is Soulblight Gravelords to me? It seems like a silly question at first, but putting it together over all these years, I really saw the progress that I've made as a painter and as an amateur artist. I really saw the leaps that I made in building models, in kit bashing, and I really love seeing the stages of everything. At one point, I really did not think I was a good painter at all. I thought I just was doing a mediocre to terrible job. And that's all up for debate from person to person. But looking back at all this now, I love each and every mini that I painted, each and every conversion that I did, every step of the way. I'm really falling in love with all of them all over again. And I'm glad I never went through and repainted any of them, because it's a really good visual as to where you've been. Over the years, I've tried other armies. I dipped my toes into Flesh Eater Courts and Stormcast Eternals, and the list just kept on going on until I've now have 9 armies. But with that, I always fell back on Soulblight Gravelords. They're so diverse. They have a little bit of something for everybody, from these wonderful Cursed City models through just endless hordes of skeletons and zombies to the extremely elite and powerful and effective Blood Knights. And of course, the big named characters, Radikar the Wolf, Belladonna, the 2 Mega Gargants. Maybe I'm cheating a little bit here with the points, throwing 2 Mega Gargants in. But when you're at close to 12,000, I'm pretty sure you can bend the rules just a smidgen for that one. Soulblight Gravelords is really more than just a small collection or a mediocre large collection to myself. To me, it's seeing one of the first things that I've really gone this deep into, and I've really put this much effort into collecting. I've had small hobbies here and there, and ones that really took off for maybe a year, but not ones that I've actively looked at collecting this long into it. That I'll take breaks from it, work on something else, but I still have the drive to come back into it. And this has just been personally amazing to see everything put together. Honestly, I'm a little bit impressed with myself. Maybe that's a little bit of gloating I shouldn't do, but I'm very impressed with myself that I've put something like this together. And I've really enjoyed seeing the level of painting that I've done from the beginning, which I still love to see, to some of the newer minis that I did, like some of the new named characters. I'm really looking forward to the new ones that are coming out. I'm still buying them, I'm still collecting them, and I'm still actively looking for some of the old models, especially those old skeleton kits, just to build it up a little bit further. Does somebody need more than 100 zombies? Does somebody need more than 70 skeletons? Likely not. But I'm going to keep going because there is that list of 200 zombies that's completely viable if you're having fun. So this is my grand collection of Soulblight Gravelords, a total of 11,545 points. I've got a couple more still primed up on the desk, ready to go, and I'm really eager to see where this ends up. So if anybody has their large collection, or their small collection, their starter collection, take pride in it, post the pictures, and put it up for everybody to see. So there is my entire Soulblight Gravelords collection. I'm extremely proud of it. I'm really happy to see the whole thing put out on the table, and I'd also really love to see what other people have been working on. If it's one start collecting box, if it's just one box, if it's one named character, whatever it is, that's your launching point into this hobby or this project, or maybe you're getting back into it after years away. Look at the old minis that you had painted, look at the new minis that you're working on now, look at and enjoy the growth. And if you haven't made the growth, that doesn't matter. If you're painting the same, if you feel like your painting went down a little bit, it doesn't matter. What matters is like the joy and the passion that we're putting into this. I do talk a lot about the growth that I made inside of this, but that is just personal to me. It can be different from everybody as to what the army collection is. It could just be a hobby, and that's all it is. It could be your escape. It could be your just way to mentally reset. Whatever it is to you, that's something amazing. I'd love to do more of an army showcase. I'd love to do this with all the different armies that I have and kind of show what I've built up. Some of them are sitting around 3,000 points, but if that's something that people want to see, I'd be glad to do more videos like this. I'd also like to do more videos that focus down on the different sub-factions. So maybe the one that comes down to Prince Vordry and the Blood Knights, and really set a scene with them, and maybe have like a clash with the Stormcast, and talk a little bit about the lore and what drives that particular sub-faction, or maybe what goes into the gameplay and the game style or the play style for that sub-faction. If anything like that is something that people want to see, drop it in the comments below. I'm pretty curious and interested in diving deeper into that. I think that might be a neat little side run to do. So on that note, if anybody wants to follow me on more social media, I'm on the old ticky-tackies at abuchananas_nomio-dilbo, and I'm getting more on Instagram at abuchananas_tabletop gaming. So please let me know what you think. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Really appreciate it all. This has actually grown a lot quicker than I thought it would, and I'm really appreciative of everything that there is. So thank you for everybody who watched the videos, especially everyone who makes it all the way to the end. All right, with that being said, last words, abuchananas.